Hello, hello. We are back with some more some more Yu-Gi-Oh, and we got new cards today. Hold on, something's broken. All right, so today we are going to start off by pulling for cards, and then we'll work on some deck building. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to build quite yet. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with that, but it seems to not be working. So I'll figure that out later. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not quite sure exactly what to build because I don't think people have quite solved the best ways to use these new cards. So I think it's going to be an experimental process, and unlike Cool Tune, where I feel like the basic principles were already decided very early on, I think that this is going to have a lot more leeway for coming up with cool ideas and interesting strategies that differ from each other but are all effective, which is going to mean that we can maybe be a little bit creative as well. So I do have a creative idea. I don't think I'm going to build it right away because I don't even know if it will work. So, but anyways, why don't we get started with polling today? And then we'll go from there, shall we? Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And today is new pack day for me. I mean, the cards came out yesterday, but I haven't really had time to get into them quite yet. I've taken a look at the new selection pack, which is, of course, the Elf Note, Exosister, Dragoonity, and it's also got some Art Mage stuff in here. I don't think people were necessarily expecting the Art Mage stuff, but this is like pretty solid support. I haven't really played Art Mage, but it does get me interested to try it, and it looks like we could pick up a... Oh, I didn't mean to back up. We could pick up a lot of the parts for Art Mage that you might need, right? Like, this card kind of seems core to it, so I'm wondering if we could figure out some cool ways to use that card, but it comes with the 3 regular Art Mage cards. The only thing that's not in here, like, it would have been way better... I guess Martha is, like, a must-have for Exosister, but why didn't we put Medius in here, right? Like, Elf Note uses Medius, Art Mage uses Medius. Why was this card, or Dragon Ravine maybe? I don't know. It's a tough call because Dragon Ravine is like needed for Dragoonity, and Martha is needed for Exosisters. But I swear I would have rather had one of those cards be Medius, especially because I already have Martha. So anyways, this is the new pack that we're looking at. It's also got Hecka Hands. I don't really know anything about it. I saw like a few games where they were played and they do some interesting stuff, but I don't know what to make of the deck. It seems like it could kind of just be splashed into places as well, but it might synergize with certain things better than others. What else did we have in here? Oh, we had the Art Mage Trap, which is new. I guess I should have it show new cards. That might be more useful for us, right? So you can see here, Martha and Dragon Ravine are old. Everything else in the URs is new. The Art Mage cards here, old. That's a Hecka Hands card. So the interesting thing about Elf Note at the moment, and we're kind of just like talking about what we want before we start polling here. Elf Notes, I feel like came out in a slightly disappointing way. I think people were hoping for a little bit more out of this. So we've got pretty much base Elf Note stuff, right? We got like this card. this card, and all the normal elf notes, the regular elf note power patron, and like the welcome home, and the trap card that's somewhere, not that one, the other trap card, this one right here, the Rhapsody. We got all that, that's all useful, but we didn't get the power patron stuff, which I kind of was thinking we would get the power patron stuff. But we did get Regina, which Regina came out at the same time as the power patron stuff. So Regina makes the elf note part better, but the power patron stuff would have been nice, and we obviously didn't get the newest stuff either with the new level 10 synchro, and I think there's also a new trap card. I don't know how good the new trap card is, but the level 10 synchro seems pretty good. So we're in a weird spot, right? Where we got Regina, which is really good. Like, Regina's really good for elf notes. But other than that, it's just base elf notes. We didn't get the power patron stuff that really made the deck pop alongside Regina. So we got a whole lot of options, and I think people don't really know how to build the elf note deck at the moment. Now, on the other hand, I think that Exo Sister's pretty straightforward, right? You pretty much just take your Exo Sister deck, take out some of the names, throw in triple betrayal, throw in one or two Carmel, and then throw in triple Sayori Hime here, and then you pretty much got your Exo Sister deck done. So that one's pretty straightforward. But I think Elf Notes is going to lead to a lot more creativity than that. So, what do we want out of this pack? I am interested in building Exo Sisters because I already have like all the other cards. So it's really just I would need Betrayal and I would need Carmel, right? And then maybe this Georgius guy seems like he can kind of just be thrown in wherever. So maybe I would be interested in getting a copy of him. So we're looking at one copy of Georgius. Let's just say 2 Carmel. Now again, these are just goals. We're not going to get all these cards. We don't have enough gems for this. 1 Junora, but it seems like people don't really know if they want to play Junora and Elf Note or not. Like, he seems good, but he's not amazing. So, what exactly does this part do? This is the part that makes it, yeah, monsters in the same column can't be used as materials for stuff. So he's kind of like a column floodgate in a way. I didn't actually realize this first part, that you could just treat an Elf Note in the middle column as a tuner. But only for this card's Synchro Summon. If this card is Synchro Summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up. Why are people not doing this? This seems kind of good, right? Because you could use the Power Patron. To make a level 10? And then summon Junora? Because then you can... Wait, no, you can't. Well, you can, but not with just a Power Patron and an Elf Note. You need another card, and you also need the Seraphim to get the levels to be correct for this to work. So, anyways, 1, 2, 1. Probably only 1 Seraphim. I haven't seen anyone play more than 1 Seraphim. I'm not that interested in the Hecka Hands card, so we're just gonna ignore that for now. I feel like Archmage plays like 2 of this, but I think you could maybe do with 1. I'm going to say 1 because there's something that I want to try with one of these. Martha, we already have all of, so we'd prefer not to get any of those. Lucina, we need 3 of. Quirinus? I don't know. He's a level 4 UR card. I assume you need 3 of it, but I don't care about the Dragoonity stuff that much. Regina, we need 3 of. Dragon Ravine, I don't know how many they use in Dragoonity, so we'll just ignore that. Hecka Hands, don't really care, and then we need Triple Betrayal, right? So that's a lot of cards that we could potentially need here. And then hopefully we'll just pick up, like, the super rares, but again, we can craft infinite super rares, so none of that really matters. It's just the URs that matter. But before we actually pull from the pack, we got some bundles. And bundles, they're getting like they're getting really weird with the bundles. They're starting to just release bundles for everything. And the bundles are obviously a bad deal. We got to understand that the bundles are not designed to be a good deal for you. So we got 3 bundles here, and we got to open our free pack too. But we got an Elf Note bundle, which is the biggest bundle of the bunch, which guarantees you a UR. The guaranteed UR almost maybe makes this worth it, but it's a little bit tough because now they're throwing in like multiple wallpapers to try and up the price of how much this bundle costs, whereas the last bundle that we saw for Cool Tune was only 2,000. This one is 2,400. So bundle's definitely not worth it, but if you want the accessories, this is the only way to get the accessories. And I kind of think that there's a few cool accessories in here, including the field. So I think I'm going to get this bundle. The next bundle and the third bundle both have collections in them. So if you're like interested in those collections, then these are the ways to get them. Other than that, these bundles don't have the guaranteed UR and just have less stuff, right? Like they don't have a field. They do have sleeves, they do have a deck box, they do have an icon, and they have a coin, and they have a collection. But they don't have the border, they don't have the backgrounds, and they don't have the guaranteed UR. So that's pretty much the differences there. Now, the Dragoonity one, I don't really see any of these accessories that I think are that cool. However, I do really think that this Exo Sister coin looks really cool. And there's like a chance that I would use like this deck box or these sleeves or this icon maybe. And we're probably going to build Exo Sister. So I think I'm going to be opening up both of these bundles, which puts us at gem cost of 4,000 for opening 20 packs. Not great, but, you know, it's fine. We got 10,000 gems here, and I think I have about 2,000 more sitting on standby. And we're probably going to spend all of them. It's mainly the bundles that are going to put us there. Otherwise, I would probably only spend 10,000. But that's what we got there. I do kind of like some of the accessories, so even though the bundles are probably not worth it, we're going to buy these 2 bundles. Let's start by opening our free pack today, because we got the new Argo Stars. I don't even know what Argo Stars do, but, you know, it could get us a UR card. It did get us a UR card. Maybe for the first time ever, this will pay off, and I'll get a UR card from the new selection pack on the left side here. It's possible. The UR card is right there. Okay, it was not from the new selection pack. It's a Dream Mirror card, huh? It would have been really cool if it actually worked for the first time ever. But, I mean, like, this is not bad, right? Just a free pack where you get a UR and 2 SRs. That's, like, a lot of dust. Worst case scenario. Do we have a whole bunch of copies of any of these cards? Well, we could dust that one for sure. So that's fine. Alright, free pack. I don't want to say it's a dud because it gave us a lot of value, but not exactly the cards we were looking for. So we'll start with the worst bundle of the 2. With no guaranteed UR. The Exo Sister bundle here. In case you're curious what all's in there, this shows like everything, but you got the collection thing, you got the coin, which this coin looks really good. The coin that I mainly use is the Sky Striker Ace one, because it looks cool. It's got like, it's mainly silver, and it's got like the Sky Striker Ace emblem in gold on it. But this coin actually looks really cool. I think this might be my favorite coin they've made so far. Other than that, the deck box is not bad. Carmel sleeves or whatever. How do you say her name? Like it's Michaelis, or is it Michaelis? I'm going to say Michaelis. Even though it's kind of like using the I in 2 different ways in the same name, but I think it's Michaelis. That sounds the best, in my opinion. So, let's go. 10 packs, 1 SR. I don't know if this counts towards, well, we did get at least 1 UR, so that's good. But I don't know if this counts, like, if you were to get no URs in this, would this count towards the pity on the actual pack itself? Or does it just disappear? Are the bundles like a separate entity in a way? I don't know how that works. It hasn't come up for me so far. But if you watched last pack opening, I do like to enjoy the pack opening, not just skip through everything and see what we got. I like to let the animations play, see what cards we get, let us be excited about stuff. And so if that's not your thing, then I apologize, but that's how I'm going to open the packs. Okay, a Fortuna. Fortuna's probably like, I mean, it's an SR, so it doesn't really matter, but Fortuna's the one of. So it's probably the worst SR to pull. Ooh, we got an extra UR. It was Regina. As I was saying in the last pack polling, if you could get one card you need every 2,000 gems, that kind of seems worth it to me. So we're off to a good start here. Regina, obviously, probably the best Elf Note card. I would go so far as to say that. It's just very powerful. Gives you turn 0 plays as well as very strong turn 1 plays that also plays around Droll. So I think it's probably fair to call Regina the best Elf Note card. It's also from the second wave of support. Oh, the Synchron guy. Excel Synchron. I don't know if people are sleeping on that guy in Elf Notes or not. He seems like he could have a lot of cool synergies with the deck, but not enough people are really using it to tell right now because they're all using like Armades pretty much, which we're probably going to start off by using Armades because I think the default way to me to play Elf Note right now is Fiendsmith. So I think that's going to be the best way to learn the deck, so then we can understand it to combine it with other stuff or play it in different ways. And we obviously are going to want 3 copies of this, but they were nice and made it a rare, so they could have very easily made that an ultra rare. I'm surprised they didn't. Because it's obviously like necessary for Exorcist, or like it's very good in Exorcist. It's not necessary, but I think it's one of your best cards in Exorcisters. But it has like uses in other things, right? Like it seems to me that it was designed for Monarchs combined with the spirits, but the spirits were already kind of being used in Exosister. But I think that it is particularly good in Monarchs because it synergizes with the little Monarchs. But it does obviously synergize very well with all of the Exosisters. But I do wonder if there's another deck that people... I mean, I'm sure people have experimented with the card and used it in a whole bunch of different ways. Maybe it's just me who isn't aware, but there's got to be, like, other decks where that card pops off in, right? There's got to be other, like, specific cards that just happen to be 800 somewhere. Dragon Ravine is whatever. At least we got 2 URs out of this. We're happy if we can get 2 URs from a pull, and we're especially happy if we get a card that we needed for the decks that we were building. So we're not going to apply these immediately yet. I like to kind of apply them as I feel. I usually don't just put on all the accessories from something. So the next bundle we got here is the Elf Note one. Now here's all the stuff together. And the field. I actually heard the music a little bit. The music seems pretty nice. The field comes with the little mate stand and the graveyard and banish pile thing. And obviously its own music as well. The coin, I'm not as thrilled with. Like I said, the Exosister coin just seems like way better. This coin just seems kind of lame. Like, what were they doing with this one? They could have done something way cooler, I think. So that part's a little bit lame. This is the trap card that's not used at all, but it is kind of a cool picture. This is the spell that is used, and it's also kind of a cool picture. So both of these are pretty decent backgrounds, in my opinion. Although this one, this is the Elf Note one, right? This is the Elf Note spell right here. It's Elf Note's Welcome Home, but it's Medius and only Archmages. What's up with that? Why is it all art? I guess there's a Doom Z power patron in the background there, but these are all art mages, right? Like, it's the art mage Owl. It's Groflair. Is this Litara? I don't know who this is. But why is it all art mage cards on the Elf Note card? I don't really know the lore here, but that seems like an interesting naming decision. Anyways, moving on. Deck box is actually pretty cool. I like this deck box. I don't really like any of the deck boxes in this game, but this might be the first one that I actually like. And the Exo Sister one was not bad, but this is probably the coolest deck box they've made so far, in my opinion. I just don't like when they do like a card on it. Like, it's kind of lame. Whereas this one, they kind of took this art here and combined it onto the card, but they removed the monsters. Like, I don't really like when there's monsters on the deck box. So it kind of gives it more of like a field spell type feel. Then you got Regina sleeves. It's kind of whatever. They probably like Regina's fine, but again, sleeves I don't like as much, just being a singular monster, but it's whatever. I guess the sleeves that I like the most are like a cool extra deck monster or something. So then we got a new border here. This border is actually one of the cooler ones that they've made. We'll have to see what it... I like to match the icon and the border, and I feel like it actually doesn't go that well with the Lucina icon here, so I don't know. Maybe we could find a different icon that works well with it. But the Lucina icon, also okay. Like I said, it doesn't really match with this border, in my opinion, too well, so maybe I could find a different border that goes better with Lucina. There's the field again, there's the mate base, there's the graveyard and the banishment pile, there's the coin being flipped, and then here's where you could see if you put the wallpapers on your thing. I don't really like this one as much, but I do like the other one here. It's just that picture instead of the whole thing. And then there's the sleeves, it's whatever. But anyways, let's get to pulling out of here. We're guaranteed a UR. Let's see if we can make more progress towards our Elf Note stuff and maybe some of our Exo Sister stuff. So we had one pack back there, pack number 6 has a UR, and we're guaranteed the UR in pack number 10, obviously, so. I wish some of these packs would, like, upgrade so we could get some more URs. I mean, I guess this one upgraded, but that's just an SR upgrade. Okay, it was not an SR. I forgot. When it turns yellow, it doesn't actually mean it's an SR. I don't know why that's the case. Doesn't make any sense to me. I forgot that it is indeed possible for it to not have an SR in it. Alright, first 5 packs was nothing, but we know pack number 6 has a UR for us. Ah, it's another dragon. Ooh, but we got... At least it was 2 URs, but it's 2 Dragon's Ravines, which, like I said, I don't really care about. This means that we now have a playset of Dragon's Ravines, so at least future Dragon's Ravines we can just dust, but... It's kind of lame that we've gotten 4 URs and 3 of them have been Dragon's Ravine, which is an old card that isn't even new. Also, these Theorealize cards, not the base, like the base one seems good for searching medias. I can't tell if these other 2 are any good, because no one's playing them, so that must mean that they're probably not that good. But there's definitely use cases for them. It's just kind of like they require you to already have access to medias, which I guess is just too demanding, so it makes them too inconsistent. Ooh, we got another UR. Okay, at least it's Carmel. That's obviously going to be necessary for the Exo Sister deck. At least one, but we could also play two. We get a lot of URs from this bundle. It does kind of feel like maybe the bundles, or at least the big bundle with the guaranteed UR seems to give you more URs. I could be wrong about that, but that's how it feels. Alright, what do we get? Okay, that's one card that we wanted, so I'm happy with that. Well, actually, I mean, I guess it's two cards that we wanted, but one card for two different decks. So we now have all of the Dragon's Ravines. We're going to need more Lucinas and more Reginas. So let's figure out exactly how many gems we have, because I didn't really count these up. So just give them all to me. We're just short of 8,000, huh? I actually thought we had at least 2,000 in there. Apparently not. Let's go take a look at that collection that we got too. Okay, we got almost all the cards. The only one that we still need is Betrayal, which I'm pretty sure if you craft the cards, it counts towards the collection. We do have the Royal Rare Stella. Oh, they added this. This is new, right? Where you could see the animations from here. I don't think you used to be able to see them. Carmail's pretty cool with the, like, sword slash. Like, some of them are lame. Like, Magnifica, I feel like they're trying to up their game a little bit on the animations. Like, if you compare Magnifica, who's just kind of, like, there, and, like, very slightly moving, to Carmail, who's doing, like, a full sword slash inner animation. What's Michaelis doing? She's doing nothing, right? She's just, like, has an idle movement. So... So yeah, that's kind of lame. Is there any way for me to get this like 140 gems that we need easily? Probably not. Just a little bit unfortunate. If we played like a game, we could probably get it. But let's open cards, see where we're at after opening cards, and then we'll pick if we want to get the rest of those gems to open another 10-pack or not. So, where are we at? Probably want one more Carmail. We want a Junoro. We need a Seraphim. Probably want to get one of these. We need two more Lucina, two more Regina. And if we could get 3 Betrayal, that'd be pretty sick. That's a lot of cards. Let's get to work, shall we? Alright, we only got one UR showing at the moment, which is a little bit lame. I feel like they've had like the same animation for pack opening for so long though. They really should update it in some way, make it more exciting or something. Cuz like they have it where the top of the pack cuts open and then the cards like shoot out, but you can't really see the cards, right? They could do so much more, like make it so you could already see if they're super rare or ultra rare just from that point. Something like that. Like they just kind of shoot out as like white boxes of light. You can't tell at all. Alright, I think that's playset of Sayori Hime now. We've also gotten all the art mages. At least one copy of each art mage now. Which I am kind of interested in trying art mage, but maybe not pure art mage. I also saw that people like to play art mage with K9, apparently. I've never really seen someone play art mage, except for like in that Fusion Synchro Link event. Some people were playing art mage, but that was pure art mage because obviously you can't do Xyz and Fusion. What is that? I didn't read that Fusion Draft card. What does that do? I should read it after this. See if it does anything good. Okay, we did get the power patron that we need. It'd be cool to get, like, maybe the royal power patron or something. I'll have to see. I never craft for royal SRs, but I have so much SR dust that I could probably get away with trying to craft a few royals. Alright, what do we get? Another dragon ravine? We've gotten 4 dragon ravines. I don't want your dragon ravines. Leave me alone. I hope we don't come out of this pack. I was going to say I hope we don't come out with only 1 UR, but we get the second UR, so it's fine. Be something useful. Okay, that was useful. I'm happy with this pack, or this 10 pull. We actually pulled 1 of each Archmage from just this 10 pull. Anyways, that's the 4th Dragon Ravine, so that gives us something to disenchant. What's it called in Dismantle, I think it's called in this game. Only see 1 UR back there. Oh, hey, how's it going? We just started. We're like 30 packs in so far. I'd say it's been going pretty good. We opened the 2 bundles, and both of the bundles had a card that a UR that we needed. So, you know, we've opened like 1 UR that we needed every 10 pulls so far, which I'd say is pretty good. We haven't gotten anything like amazing, like no royals or anything, but is this guy usable in other stuff? No, not really. Yeah, he's kind of only usable with Dragoonities. Another Finmel, huh? Alright, the pulls are kind of boring at the moment. Unfortunately, I think it was pack number 9 that actually has a UR in it, so I've got to wait until we get there. What was the other card? I was going to read that weird, like, fusion whatever with the skeleton dude on it, but then I forgot to read it. See if we can run across that card again. No, you are, huh? Oh, right, of course. The upgraded pack that upgraded to nothing. Genius. Alright, this pack has a UR in it. Can we get another card that we need? No. We already have Martha. We don't need her. Okay, but we would like to get at least 1 more UR, because otherwise we didn't get enough URs. Alright, we did not get enough URs. That's unfortunate. Okay, this pack was a dud. Just a single Martha, which is our 4th Martha. Not useful to us. Ooh, you don't like to see that. Hopefully some of the packs upgrade here. Does this card do anything in Dragoonity, or why is it here? From the hand to the graveyard, you could special summon it. Does Dragoonity send stuff from the hand to the graveyard? Maybe it does. Skip 1 pack? That's not a bad idea. Like, skip... Because some games, like gacha games, they've kind of mastered this mechanic where if you hit the skip button, it doesn't skip everything, it skips straight to the cool thing, right? So like that's not a bad idea to just have the skip button like just shoot you forward a little bit immediately to like a UR pole or something. Or like a royal upgrade or something. Who the heck is this guy? Is this a new card? Yeah, MD doesn't have that. It would be a cool idea though. Is this guy new? You send the topic. Look at your opponent's extra deck. This is kind of rude. Can we stop having so many cards that rip from your extra deck, please? I hope that this 10 pull doesn't disappoint me. So far, it's looking like we might get 0 URs. Who the heck is this guy? This guy doesn't look like... It looks like he dressed up as a Dragoonity, but like not really. Like he didn't have the right colors. His mom had to get him like the the discount Dragoonity set. This is the card that I wanted to read. Fusion Draft. Add one of the fusion materials whose names are mentioned on that revealed monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except the discarded card. Then you can add a second such card to your hand if the first card added was a normal monster. Now, this locks you into fusions immediately? Yeah, this card seems way too bad. It plays into Droll. I was thinking like maybe it'd be a cool way for Elf Note to get access to Medius, but it locks you into fusions and you play into Droll immediately. It's just too prohibitive of a card. They honestly could have made it like... The discard is too much as well. They could have just made it reveal a fusion monster, add a fusion material who's listed on it. If it just did that, it might be playable. But as it states, no, that card's way too prohibitive. It's looking like we're not getting a UR here, which is very disappointing. Alright, we did not get a UR. This card looks really cool. The new trap card for Archmage. It's like the Seraphim versus the non-finito. Looks pretty sick. Yeah, that's not great. But at least we get a guaranteed one in the next 10 pull. Then you're guaranteed. I mean, that's what it's looking like here too, right? Like, you get no URs and then you only get the guaranteed UR. That feels really bad, right? Because then it means you got no URs in 20 packs. We might get more, but at the moment it's only showing one in the 10th pack there. But I mean, it just kind of is what it is. You can't always get everything. And I have plenty of UR dust for just these situations. Plus, we already have a 4th Martha and a 4th Dragon's Ravine, so we can already disenchant both of those. I keep saying disenchant. What is it? It's not decraft. It's something dismantle. It's dismantle in this game. These are just boring packs. There's nothing going on. We've gotten a lot of XL Synchrons, too. What does this card do, by the way? Like, which deck is this in here for? You could special summon one level 3 or higher illusion monster from your hand or graveyard. Oh, this must be for Hecka hands. Interesting. I like kept seeing this card. I was like, what is this guy? Who does he belong to? There's a Tinio. Oh, wait, no, that's the guaranteed you are. But, like, Chimera is not a pack in here, right? Are the Hecka hands not illusions? Is it only the Chimeras that are illusions? Like, obviously, Hecka hands is played with Chimera. Alright, we only got the guaranteed you are. At least it was non-finito, which I kind of wanted a copy of. So, I mean, that sucks that we got, like, essentially no URs in the last 20 polls, but it's whatever. So, how many packs have we pulled now? Let's just round this up to 4,000. We might have to go get that 140 gems somewhere to be able to pull. So we've pulled, I think, about 60 packs. And we've ended up with... I'll go new cards. We still need the Junoro. We could still use another Carmel. Could still maybe use a Georgius. We still need 2 more Regina. Still need 3 more Betrayal. And 2 more Lucina. It's honestly not that bad, right? Like, this pack is not that intensive. Because they were kind of nice. Because they knew that people wanted both Exosister and Elf Note. So they kind of... They went really hard on the Exosisters, but there's only 2 Exosister cards, so... Well, if you don't count Sayori Hime. I guess they could have made Sayori Hime a UR. But they went really hard on the 2 Exosister cards, making them both URs. But honestly, like, only 2, 2, and 1 for the Elf Notes here. We're not in a bad spot. We're probably looking to finish up this pack opening, like the next useful card that we pull. Is probably what I'm thinking. That way we got like less than, oh my gosh, we got like less than 5 cards that we need to craft. Although I do want the Exosister cards. Yeah, I mean, Elf Note is probably gonna be good. The problem is it good right now? I guess the question is it good right now, right? Is Regina enough to make Elf Note, like, top tier? And I'm not sure. Without the other Power Patron stuff. I do think that the Exosister stuff is better than people give it credit for, but maybe still rogue? I'm not sure on that one. I guess the Exosisters are still really vulnerable to just immediate, like, removal. Because you can't really make an Xyz monster if your bodies just immediately get taken off. Okay, we did get a UR card. Okay, it's Betrayal. That's fine. Do you know, like, what your favorite Elf Note build is, or like best thing to combine Elf Note with right now, in your opinion? Because I feel like no one has quite figured out the best way to build Elf Note yet. I know that Fiendsmith looks good, but the Fiendsmith deck just looks like they're wasting a bunch of cards. Like, the extra deck doesn't look very refined. So I'm not sure if Fiendsmith is it or not. Although, like, making Caesar seems really powerful. Fiendsmith for sure? Hmm. What do you mean Cool Tune counts it? Oh, counter. You mean like because all the Exo Sisters are low attack, so they get messed up by RS? I wonder if how many locks? Oh wow, we only got one card. Do we stop there? But I was gonna say, I wonder how many locks does Exo Sister have? I wonder if it would play well with something like K9. Because, like, if Cool Tune's gonna be so prevalent and it's gonna counter Exo Sister by making them all, like, mainly into 5s, because it's not that often that they have back-to-back immediately on the field. So if they're gonna make you into 5s, I wonder if you can instead, like, start playing K9s. And they like make you into 5s, and then you just make like a Ripper. Or you make like Nash Knight or something. Because a lot of their extra deck is just like running multiple copies of the extra deck Exo Sisters, right? Alright, so what do we want to do? We're kind of like right on the edge here of, do I keep pulling or do I not? We need like one Carmel, one Junora, two Lucina, two Regina, and two Betrayal. That's 7 cards. It's kind of a bad spot. I think we gotta pull a little bit more. 7 cards is a lot. We've also, like, these past 30 packs, we've only gotten 2 URs, and one of them was a guaranteed UR, right? So we're not exactly getting very lucky at the moment. I already picked up all my gems in the gift box, unfortunately. It's because the bundles are so expensive. There's a Georgius. I didn't really, like, I guess I wanted a copy of him to maybe use in something, but... But yeah, the bundles were so expensive. We essentially spent 4,000 gems to only get 20 packs. I'm thinking that we'll probably try and finish on this 10 pull, though. We got at least one more UR coming. I guess even though I didn't count Georgius in one of my URs, it's fine to have him. What are you saying, really, too? The cost of the bundles, or Hecka Hands guy, huh? Alright, with 3 URs, pretty much no matter what they are, I think we'll just end on that. Give me a good one. Oh, okay, that's a nice one to end on. Another Regina, that saves us an entire craft. Can we get another? Nope. No, we cannot. Alright, so we're going to stop the pulls there. We got our second Regina. We did get a Georgius. So this is where we're at after pulling. Junora, we probably will want a Junora. I don't know. I don't know how often he's going to be used, though. But anyways, 1. We need 2 here. We need 1 there. And then we could still use 2 Betrayal and maybe 1 Carmel. But that's not that bad. Overall, this pack seemed pretty good. We got a lot of Dragon's Ravines, which I didn't really want. But we didn't get a whole bunch of this guy, which I also didn't want. So I guess that's good. We did get an extra Martha out of here. We can decraft 1 Dragon's Ravine and 1 Martha, and that's almost another card, so we're in a pretty decent spot after that opening. So next we got to figure out exactly how we're going to build our Elf Note deck, and if we're going to build Exo Sisters immediately or not, but that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Oh, well, actually, I guess I should show like an example of the deck list that I'm currently looking at. And we can we could go from there, because I'm going to have to think about exactly what we're going to do. So this is like preliminary Fiendsmith that I was looking at. I did throw in back-to-back and Jurashin here that weren't actually in the deck list. But I just wanted to remember them because I want to see how usable back-to-back is in this deck. It seems like it's kind of hard to make right now. And then this guy seems really good if maybe you play Excel Synchron. But I haven't quite figured it out yet. So I got to take some time to think about it. But this is the example list. I did forget we are going to need Medius, huh? And he wasn't in the pack. So we got to craft that guy. But anyways, that's kind of the idea that I'm working off of right now. And we're going to see what kind of deck we can build with this. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you next time. Okay, so now we gotta figure out what the heck we're gonna build. Because, like I said, this doesn't look that optimal to me immediately. Like, it seems like it's got some room for improvement, right? I realize now I forgot to make all my folders for this stuff. Oh, yeah, maybe I don't know if I need to change how I do stuff, because I think probably a lot of people think it's the end of the stream when I'm like recording a video and then I do like an outro to the video. I don't know a better way to do it, and I don't have like a whole lot of time to edit stuff, so if I don't just do an outro in the video, then it adds like hours of rendering and stuff. So if I take these out for now, I really don't think I want to play Desiree. I never ended up getting a Desiree or crafting him for any reason. I just don't see how you make him. If you make Caesar, which you're almost always making Caesar, and then it just becomes impossible to make the Desiree. So I feel like that's not worth it. This seems like a wasted extra deck card. We'll take the back-to-back out for now. Take the Desiree out. I also don't know what the use case was for Arclight. Like, the only way to make it is, like, Droll plus the Power Patron, or Droll plus Ash? Maybe Lurie plus one of those? So this doesn't seem like it really works with the deck. So I think we're going to take that out too. Now the unfortunate thing, we'll throw this guy out. We'll throw this guy in temporarily. Did they also break? Like sometimes the cards just, this card screen just loads for no reason. I feel like they broke it because it didn't used to do that. The other thing is, I really thought I had this guy, but it turns out I had this guy. This guy is not generic, whereas this guy is generic. And I don't really want to craft this, because I don't know if... This doesn't seem like it's going to be the optimal way to play the deck. The question then is Moon just, like, equal to this guy, possibly? The only problem is you obviously can't make Moon if you have Power Patron on the field. It's not possible. And then I also don't know if I want to craft Black Rose. Because the good thing about Elf Notes is they can just keep going. Like, it's really easy to get to Black Rose. And then you could blow up the field. And then you can kind of just keep going, right? You can continue your combo from there. But how often is Black Rose actually going to go through? Or are you actually going to be able to get to the Black Rose without your cards being taken off the board? I did have another deck list that I was looking at instead. Let me look at that one real quick. They're running like some funny stuff that also seems not very optimal. Like they have a Link Spider in here just in case they get Nibiru, so you could get the Nibiru token out of the middle monster zone. Like surely anytime you're playing Link Spider, it can't be the optimal way to play the deck, right? Also, I wonder if you want to run like a smaller Fiendsmith package. Like, just get rid of the one Fiendsmith, get rid of the Lacrima, get rid of the Tract, get rid of the Lurie. Well, you still need the Lurie, do you? No, I guess you don't need the Lurie as long as you're making Armades or Moon of the Closed Heaven. Yeah. It does seem like a lot of people are just using situational stuff because the options are limited. That's true. But it's like instead we could be running Necroquip. But this other deck list is just running like a bunch of Fiendsmith extra deck cards. Like, it's got Aerial Eater in here, which is kind of funny because it can drop the Power Patron. Yeah, you can play just a single Fiendsmith, and then if you have... I guess this deck doesn't need to play Moon because you have Armades, and then just run a Necroquip. But that playstyle, I feel like, feels really bad. It's really good at making Caesar, and that's all it does. Because the weakness that that has is if you then get to another turn, the engraver doesn't have a whole lot of materials to work with, right? Like, to get himself back on the board, to knock something off with Requiem. You can maybe do that once, and then you're kind of just out of resources. Because it's not like you can make another Requiem and summon another engraver, because your engraver is then in the graveyard. So part of me kind of likes the Lacrima plus the 2 plus the 1 plus the 1. To just, like, give yourself the ability to recycle stuff. I also don't think I want to play TTT in this deck. At least not right now. What was the other thing that I was looking at instead of TTT? Probably just more hand traps. Either Veiler or Bell. Or we could do that and run like 2 Bell. This guy just seems like he's so good against Cool Tune. Because he just blows up everything. It's really good against the Q start. But you kind of need this guy to make it. But I guess Caesar also is really good against Q, right? Yeah, Caesar just destroys Q anyway, so maybe that's irrelevant if you already have Caesar. If you're running Fiendsmith, then maybe this guy doesn't matter. I also can't decide what's better, Bell or Effect Veiler. The Synchrons version? I don't really like Synchrons. Like, the only reason I want to kind of play this guy is because he's generic, and he gives you the ability to, like, quick synchro, right? I'm not a huge fan of Synchrons. So we don't need this guy. I guess if we're not playing this guy, then we're probably not playing that guy. So then what else are we putting in? Do I just put Link Spider or do I put Necroquip? Does Necroquip help at all if you already have all this other stuff? Super Poly. The problem with Super Poly is it is good, but I feel like you either play Fiendsmith or you play Super Poly. Because it takes up like 4 extra deck slots. Oh, that's in my bookmarks. That's why I didn't find it. Like, how much does Necroquip help? It really, and it kind of does nothing. How much does it do? Because if they're trying to just mess up the Fiendsmith plays, then they're just negating the sequence, right? And I don't think Necroquip really saves you from a sequence being negated. Unless you somehow saved your Engraver effect? No, even if you save that, it doesn't help. You don't think Necroquip is good if you use the full Fiendsmith engine? That's probably valid. The other question is, like, how are we actually making Moon of the Closed Heaven? Like, what possible 2-card combination am I saying, yes, here I want to make Moon of the Closed Heaven instead of anything else? The problem is if we don't have the level 10 Fabled Synchro, there's no good way with, like, Regina to get the use of the Power Patron and go into Fiendsmith plays. Lucina and Fua. Look. I mean, I guess, if we have to summon Fua, but I was more thinking of, like, because if you summon Lucina, you're searching a card, right? And you're probably searching Regina, and Regina requires you to send an elf note. Why does Junora require 2 non-tuners? Also, this guy goes down 2 levels, right? So he becomes level 5. Could you do anything interesting with that? Not really, because none of the 6s are tuners, and he is also not a tuner. I mean, maybe we just are running, like, Typhon for now. Do I really want to craft Black Rose? How good is Black Rose in this deck? True. If your play gets messed up, then like all of these are just free summons to the center monster zone, and then you can just summon a hand trap. And I guess that's a pretty decent play then. If you can then get all the way through Fiendsmith combo. I think it's reasonable that we're going to craft all these. I guess we'll craft 2 Medius. I guess we'll craft Junora. The real question is, am I crafting this Black Rose? It seems pretty good going second. Especially if someone's not ready for a Black Rose. If they, like, leave whatever you have on the field. Like, even Medius can go into Black Rose, right? Because this guy can just bump himself up. I assume he could target himself. Target one monster in your main monster zone. But I guess you would probably just summon the Medius in the center monster zone. Well, maybe you wouldn't. Do you summon it in the main monster zone? Is there a way to play this deck with Cool Tune? I have heard that you can. I just haven't looked at it at all. I'm not really sure how that works. Because obviously if you lead off with Q, then you can no longer summon any of the elf notes. But there's... surely it would do something in the deck. I just don't know exactly what. And you need like a specific plan, probably. But I feel like it would work. You would probably just have to do as many elf note plays as you can first, and then go for Cool Tune. Yeah, I mean, are you talking about Medius right now? I mean, we kind of need Medius, I think. But I was more asking, like, if you summon Medius, do you want to summon him in the center monster zone or not? Because if Medius then gets negated, then you can't make elf note plays, right? You got problems. So I feel like you have to summon Medius not in the center monster zone, and then you just summon the Power Patron in the center monster zone. Because then the Power Patron can boost his level if you really want. Wait, hold, but that doesn't even make a... that makes an 8. That doesn't get us Black Rose. Yeah, I guess there's no... it doesn't matter then. Rose Dragon is good in the grind game. Oh, good going second. I for some reason, I thought you were trying to say grind, not going. But yeah, I guess it doesn't matter where you summon Medius. Because you can't really... is there a good 8? Like, the 8 that I saw people using was Dragite. Dragite requires you to have Kinia, right? Does it have to be in the graveyard, or can it be on the field? It has to be in your graveyard. Like, is Dragite better than Typhon? That's the question. Luckily, I already have a Dragite. There's no other waters in this deck. Fua's not even a water. Why couldn't Fua be a water? There's no waters. Not even any of the extra deck is water. Oh, I guess Caesar's a... But your Caesar's not going to be in the graveyard. Probably, so that's not really reasonable. Why couldn't this be a water? It could have been any element that they wanted, and they chose fire. Yeah, I feel like that level 10 synchro that just came out for specifically Elf Note seems pretty, like, necessary in a way. Obviously, it's still playable without it, but yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the only Elf Note one, and Junora's not even an Elf Note. Like, the deck is designed around being able to use him, but it doesn't even seem that efficient. Because you gotta do, like, some wackadoo stuff to even summon this guy. You gotta, like, use this effect, reduce everyone's level by 4. Or, no, reduce the levels of all level 4 or higher. Reduce everyone's level by 3. And then you gotta use this guy to boost one guy's level by 3. So then you can make Junora with 3 bodies. At least we can make Baron, so that's good. I don't know, I think the Dragite might be better than Typhon. But I guess maybe not. I don't know. Dragite's obviously better going first. Typhon's only use case is like going second. Or in a weird grind game. Maybe you already have enough negates that Dragite doesn't actually matter. Maybe Typhon's better. Yeah, Junora seems kind of weak. But you do get to negate everything. I assume this starts a chain, though. So it's not like you can negate something that's already activated by all of a sudden summoning a Junora, right? It kind of seems bad. Because you would just be negating something that hasn't activated yet. And then they would probably just summon another one of it and then use their effect. Really, the only thing that matters is this effect, right? Which I guess this would really mess up Pool Tune, though. Because they need the field to be able to synchro with the hand. And if they can't use that field slot... As long as you place your monsters well... then you could stop a Q play. Okay, so is this the deck that I should go with? Do we really want 3 Theorealize? I did see people running this Archmage card, which kind of does a similar thing. This one. Because, like, the thing I'm seeing in this deck is the only thing you normal summon is Medius, right? You don't normal summon anything else. So I kind of wonder if, like, putting in a powerful normal summon, or even just throwing in Lava Golem. Like, that's an idea, right? Instead of playing Super Poly, why am I not just playing Lava Golem? Because if we don't need our normal summon... But yeah, this card just searches Medius, which this card gives me some ideas to do stuff, but I think today we're going to play Fiendsmith. Should we play Lava Golem in this deck? It seems pretty good. I don't know. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and think about it real quick. Fill up my water, and then we'll decide what we want to do. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was also thinking about Hurikara. I feel like this just doesn't work against Cool Tune, right? Because most of the time, if a Cool Tune monster activates its effect, it's usually no longer on the field. So, this just seems like a worse Lava Golem. The only thing that Lava Golem conflicts with is the Medius normal summon. That would be really unfortunate if those happen to come up. But most of the time, if we're just dumping Medius to the grave, then it doesn't matter. Is there any other ways to use this Lava Golem? Like, we don't... I guess you could use it with Medius's effect if he's in the graveyard. Is there... Because Lava Golem says you can't normal summon. Do we have a good way if Medius is in our hand? We don't really have like discards. The only discard is Tracked, but Tracked you want to discard Lurie. You can use it as fodder for Welcome. What about this? You can also use it for Rhapsodia. Although it is fire and Lucina's fire, so then you can't summon Lucina, but I mean these are just like fringe cases. That's not the ideal use of these cards, but I just want to make sure that like Lava Golem is not just gonna mess up our deck and just be dead draws. It is obviously bad going first. Would we want to play Foolish? Probably not Goods, right? There's nothing to drop with Goods. None of these do anything in the graveyard. Foolish would just be the same thing as this, pretty much. But we could use it for, like, Beansmith. Is there anything else you would reasonably want to Foolish? Probably not. What do I replace if I want to play Lava Golem? Probably Triple Tactics, but is Triple Tactics just better? We should think of it in terms of Cool Tune, I guess. I feel like Lava Golem just kind of cooks Cool Tune. It's like them getting hit by a Super Poly. Triple Tactics doesn't really cook them as hard, but it is more general use. Now let's start with this and maybe we'll throw in the Lava Golem later. I think the Lava Golem is a funny idea that maybe a lot of people aren't currently thinking of. But there might be a reason that people aren't thinking of it. So I think this is the deck that we're gonna build here. I really wish that Master Duel had a way for me to try this deck before I crafted it, like in a solo mode or something. That's kind of one of the issues. There's no real ways to try stuff. You gotta just commit. So how many URs is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 URs. Yeah, let's make it. We'll start with this, because this could open up... Is there an Art Mage pack? Probably not, but... This could, in theory, open up an Art Mage pack, if there was one. There is not. Yeah, but I don't really want to get a simulator. I don't have any of them. I'm just saying, like, Master Duel should just have that built into it. I shouldn't have to go somewhere else just to try out some cards. Alright, can we get some Royal Rares? We'll save the main deck monsters, because those would be cool to get Royal Rares on. Black Rose has a pack, though. Maybe I should have started with the Black Rose. It's got 2 packs? It's in the Tempai pack? What all's in this pack? Huh. Oh, I forgot that we need to dismantle some cards. This better not be like Medius. Okay. The odds that it was like literally one of the URs we already crafted was very slim. Extras. Alright, last chance for a Royal Rare. We didn't get it. Okay, so this is what we're going with. At least for now. I don't know if we should use too much Elf Note stuff. Because then people are going to think we're playing Elf Note. Four cards to play Art Mage? What are you talking about? I do like this deck box, though. Go with these sleeves and... What is this? We can use this coin though. I mean, these are pretty good 3 cards. Kind of show you what the deck does. Didn't get any royal rares, so nothing cool to show off here. Yeah, I just don't like what cards are you talking about that I'm missing for Archmage. So here, I'll show you. It's not going to be part of the video right now, but in theory, like, as long as you're not using too many of the Archmage cards that lock you out of summoning non-Archmages, like, this is really it. Like, I'm only missing this guy. I guess you could play 3 Medius if you wanted. But these are all the Archmage cards that... I mean, this one, but it's an SR. It doesn't really matter. These don't lock you out of making Elf Note plays. And, like, the idea is that if you ever draw Finmel and any spell or trap, you can just immediately make non-finito, and then you can set Vandalism, and then Vandalism searches Medius. Archmage Power Patron? Oh, you mean the owl? I don't have the owl, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, his name's not Owl. I do not have the owl. Oh, actually, I have one owl, but I was like, he doesn't really seem that useful if I'm trying to use elf notes. And the new fusion is this, right? You're talking about non-finito is the new fusion that was just in the pack. We did get one of that. The only one I don't have is the old Deactorus. And I do have this guy, but I don't think... he doesn't really... Like, if I'm running a whole bunch of elf notes, this guy doesn't really work very well because it requires 3 Archmage monsters. And granted, this can make... It can make one card treated as an Archmage, but it's only until the end of the turn. And the cool thing about non-finito is you can fusion summon on your opponent's turn, which means I probably would never be able to make the Power Patron with it. And I think you can only use... Yeah, you can only use monsters you control, so it has to be monsters that are on the board. And really, like, the only Archmage you would want on the board is maybe Finmel. So you can do this, like, negate everything effect. And then I guess this is also an Archmage. But you can make Ilia Sylvia decently easily as long as you keep Fortuna or Finmel. But it'd probably make the most sense to try and make the Actress somehow. Which you can also use this to make. But yeah, I feel like the Owl is not worth it. Yeah, this seems like a cool idea. I was looking it up because I saw that like the new Archmage cards are out, and I was like, there has to be a way that you could play this deck together. And I looked it up, and people are like, nah, you can't play the decks together. They lock you out of doing stuff. But I was like, wait, but all of these Archmage cards that people use don't, like the ones that you use don't actually lock you out. There are Archmage cards that lock you out, but most of them aren't even used very much. Because most people play Archmage with Canine, which requires you to not lock yourself out. So, I don't know. This seems like a really cool deck. The problem that I feel like we're going to have with this deck is it doesn't really do that much that's better than Fiendsmith, right? And Fiendsmith is easier to use. So I feel like this is just going to be like a cool, fun version of the deck, but maybe not actually better in any way. But I do plan on trying this at some point. I just figured it would be a good place to start with Fiendsmith, so we could kind of learn how the Elf Note cards work. Also, there is like some potential to play the recapture, the new trap, but I feel like most of the time you're probably gonna want to be either setting vandalism or succession. But the new trap is playable. Also in this deck, you'd probably want to run Chimera. Probably want to run one of these. I forgot to put it in earlier. Because the Finmail can get you a fusion summon. Well, actually, no. Finmail can't use Chimera. Only Succession can make Chimera. That was wrong. Only Succession can make Chimera. It's a little bit restrictive. But the Finmail could make Sylvia. Why do I keep saying Finmail? This is non-finito. This one's Finmail. I don't know the Armage cards. I've never played them. Yeah, but like you still want to win, right? Just because it's fun but not strong, you still want to win games. I think the advantage that this deck would have over playing pure Elf Note with Fiendsmith is the surprise factor. Like, people are not going to be expecting you to start off with non-finito and then go into Elf Note plays, right? And not the cool thing about non-finito is that you could just summon it. Like, you don't have to play anything. You just, oop, I have Finmail in hand and I have a random spell and trap. Non-finito is now on the board. Your response, which is a really funny idea to me. I just like that you could just immediately make this play. But I do wish that they had a little bit more synergy. I don't know why there's only one level 7 Archmage monster. I guess they're also counting the fact that you could use Deactorus in a real Archmage deck, but... Anyways, yeah, that was my idea. We'll be playing this deck at some point. I have to refine it a little bit and actually make sure that everything works. But I just like the idea. It's kind of like the Azamina thing where you do, is it Queen Azamina or Saint Azamina? Which one? Where you just kind of like remove their cards all of a sudden. Like, you have this one, you could tribute one Saint Azamina and one face-up monster your opponent controls. And you just do that with the Saint Azamina that you summon off of the Hallowed Azamina, which is pretty easy to get to. You just like summon this, and then your opponent's like, okay, and then you just remove their card off the board and smack down Azamina onto the field. I just, like, any time where you do that, where you just smack a card onto the field without activating any effects or anything, that's really funny to me. And I feel like it catches people off guard, so. Which, another thing, White Forest cards would probably work pretty well with Elf Notes. Specifically stuff like LZ, this one here, that doesn't really use any of your stuff up. You just kind of summon it, and then you can make plays. This card seems like it could be really good in Elf Note decks. Like, because most people are actually playing, what's his face? Assault? That's not how you spell that. They're playing this guy as like a level 2 that you could just kind of summon. But like, why not just play Azamina LZ, right? Because this is also just a free special summon of itself, or a different White Forest, but you could just use it on itself. And then you could use it to like bridge into other cool plays. Like if you were playing regular Azamina stuff. What can you search off of it? Sinful Spoils card, so you could search this card. And then make other plays that would lead you into Saint Azamina and Azamina. There's something there, but unfortunately, it requires you to synchro summon to do that, and the Elf Notes might not play that nicely with actually having to do the synchro summon. We'll see. There's a lot to do. I really like the Elf Note deck because there's a lot of options. There's an Elf Note as a Mina in the OCG. That makes sense. I really would like there to have been more Power Patron stuff that came out, though. But anyways, we'll save that for now. We'll be back to that deck. I think it'll be fun, but I don't really want to play it if it's bad, right? Like, it has to actually be effective. And it seems like it will be effective, just not as effective as Fiendsmith. So if it's just like just a little bit worse, then I'm okay with it. But if it's a lot of bit worse, then I maybe don't want to play it, right? Oh, did we finished that collection, huh? Do we want to use this collection or the Cool Tune one? The Cool Tune Synchro is just so cool. How do you even change them? Like, how do you pick a different one? Is it like in here? Oh, here. Okay. I see, I see. Oh, should we edit our icon and stuff while we're here before we go duel? Where is... There you are. Like, this border's not that bad with Lucina. I just feel like this doesn't look that great. Where do I think it's gonna be? Like, right now, as is? I don't think it's tier 2. I feel like it's tier 3. I don't think there's any chance it's tier 1. There's maybe a chance it's tier 2, but I think it's probably tier 3 at the moment. But maybe I'm wrong. It just feels a little bit weak. I don't know why they released it in this state. I feel like that was a mistake on their part. They should have given it at least the Power Patron support. They should have either given it the Power Patron support or the new Synchro 10. Maybe not both, but they should have given it one of those. Instead, they gave them only Regina, which is good, but I don't think it's good enough. But I do think it's probably going to become my main deck. We'll see. Because I also want to try Exo Sisters. But, like, is there anything that looks good? This looks okay. What about the Cherry Blossom one? What about you? Do you agree with that, or where do you think they're going to fall? What about with a hat? It looks kind of funny with a hat on. The hat one is so good. I don't know why they don't make more, like... I guess the ears. They have the ears. You could put ears on whatever your favorite card is. You think it's tier 2 for sure? What if we take this frame? That doesn't look very good. Maybe this frame's not as good as I thought it was. It doesn't really fit with anything. You would say upper tier 2? I'm mean, I'm just trying to think, like... Because the good thing that Cool Tune has going for it... Hello, how's it going? The good thing that Cool Tune has going for it is that they run a bajillion hand traps, right? And they still have a turn 0 play. At least with Regina, Elf Note does have a turn 0 play, but I feel like they don't run a bajillion hand traps. But it might be better going second than Cool Tune is. Which maybe that's the part that I'm missing. That actually makes them good is like, are they good enough to go second into boards where Cool Tune just doesn't stand a chance? Sorry. I don't know, this new frame doesn't really go with anything. What about Michaelis with a hat? That actually looks pretty good. Just Michaelis with a hat. That's not bad. We'll do this for now. Which wallpaper do we want? I kind of like this one. I think it's funny. Today we're gonna try and play Elf Note Fiendsmith. We just constructed it. Unfortunately, I don't really know all the plays. Who do we want to... I don't need you. The hat is good with everyone. Mostly true. It's only like when they're not looking the correct direction that it doesn't work. But most of them are all looking to the left of the screen. But like here, I mean, I guess that one works because her head's kind of tilted. This one's okay, but like the hat's off to the side. Obviously, it's a little bit awkward with her because she's already got a hat on. Like this one doesn't work. This one also, I feel like, doesn't really work. That one doesn't really work. That one works. This one, the hat's like over her face, so it doesn't really work. It all depends on which way their head is tilted. Alrighty, let's change up from the Cool Tune deck here. I should probably play like a practice match, right? Like I kind of know what order you're supposed to do stuff in, but I have a feeling I'm gonna mess this stuff up. Where are you? There you are. Just go first. Oh, wait. I thought I picked first. Did I not pick first? What happened? Alright, you're getting trolled. Wait, you don't shuffle or put yourself back into hand for cost? That's so unfortunate for you. Or S-Force. They could have made S-Force so much better. Even the new S-Force cards don't really do anything. Are you kidding me? Luckily they did. I forgot that this deck locks up the zones. Luckily they didn't lock up the middle zone. So like in a real game, do I really want, like if this is my hand, do I really want to Engraver first? Or should I Lucina first, search Regina, and then Fiendsmith combo? Because I feel like if I get Drolled, I would much rather have Regina in my hand than Tracked. And then the good thing about this is we can actually just shuffle back the Power Patron. This is only... You can't do this during your turn. Why didn't they just make this during both turns? It would make the deck better going second. That's kind of lame. So yeah, I feel like the better play is to summon Lucina first. What the heck are you? Okay. Cool stuff. And then we grab Regina. And then we could go Fiendsmith. If they droll us there, then we're like... I guess we can't go Fiendsmith anymore, but... Well, I guess we still could go Fiendsmith in like a roundabout way. With Medius. We just couldn't go Fiendsmith by discarding Mr. Smith himself. This is kind of obnoxious with these two zones locked. You need to tribute something, right? Yeah, so we gotta keep the Lucina. We can't just use that. If I was in a real game right now, his name's Mr. Smith. I would send back Lurie. Just in case I get Bestialed, then at least I have an Engraver in the grave next turn. And then... You could actually make Chaos Angel out of Lacrima and Lucina, huh? But then it only has unaffected by monster effects. But this could be like a surprise attack, right? Like, if I didn't summon back Engraver, and I just went straight for the Chaos Angel, and all they have are monsters on board to do stuff, that Chaos Angel's gonna mess them up. This is obviously the best play to just do stuff with the Fiendsmith, force out the Kiyomaru. Wait, can you not activate? Oh, you need to banish an S-Force card and you summoned your dog for some reason. That was stupid. Oh, it had to be a monster. I couldn't send this Ground Collapse. Anyways, I think that this deck is gonna be straightforward. I kind of wanted to do the... I need to do the Elf Note combo. At least once. But we don't have enough room on the board to do it. Do I just do it now instead? Just assume that we, like, made Lacrima and made Caesar to protect from Nibiru. But we don't have enough room to do the combo, so let's just do the combo before we do that. I could send the Power Patron. How does Regina read? Oh, she doesn't care about the attribute of what you send. How does Medius read? You can add one Power Patron from your deck. Okay, so I don't really want to send this Power Patron to the graveyard yet. Because I have multiple ways to get it out of my deck, but I don't... I guess we do have a few ways to get it out of the graveyard, but I'd rather just keep it in my hand, I think. Okay, so you go Regina. You aren't supposed to summon... Wait, you summon, right? Yeah, okay. Regina, then you go Tinia. Activate Tinia. And so as far as I know, you aren't synchro locked until you activate this card, right? So far, like, you can see that sequence is still activatable. So up until now, I'm not locked into anything. And then now is when I lock myself. We summon Fortuna. We don't want it in the middle monster zone. So now sequence is no longer activatable. Then Fortuna, grab the trap. And then the trap is what you use to get the Power Patron back. The ground collapse is actually making it so I can't now do the Medius thing. So I guess I just normal summon the Power Patron. Should I make the 7? We don't have enough room to make the 7. I'm just making it 10. You're a defense, so I guess I'm doing this. Alright, so the Tinia. Why can I not? Oh, we only have one Fortuna. That's why you can't search it. So the Tinia hasn't been used yet. And with the Baron, I can actually pop this stupid ground collapse. So now we can actually do stuff. So I could summon the Tinia. We could do this. Do we want you? Then we want to summon you. Yeah, sure. Just negate that guy. And then we want to summon the bird. What gives you, while you're in the center monster zone, that gives you 3,000 attack. Then we activate the bird. We summon the Power Patron back. We don't want to change levels. It would change itself, right? No, because it's not level 6 or lower. Wait. No, hold on. It's level 4 or higher, yes. So if we did that, he'd be level 4. So you could make another level 5 with this, huh? Interesting. I didn't realize you could get back into Armades with this if you didn't get it earlier. And you can make this guy. Oh, I don't have a monster in hand because I used the guy because I didn't have enough room. But I can send the sequence, actually. Oh, I also forgot. You could use the Theorealize to turn a monster into a light fiend. And then just use it to make Fiendsmith combo. Well, okay, the one card combo would have been better if I could have done the like I should have a Wave King Caesar right now, right? I should have a Wave King Caesar. And I should also have Regina in hand. Why don't I have Regina in hand? I think I accidentally summoned Regina in the middle, so I had to tribute it off. But I should have had Regina in hand. I just didn't have room because of the stupid ground collapse. But I should have a Wave King Caesar right now. And a Regina in hand. But it was an awkward situation. Usually we're not going to run into people running ground collapse. So. You did count the... Because, like, this is a disruption, right? This is a negate if you have a Regina in hand, and then the Regina... Because the Caesar's 2, this is 1, this is 1. This is a negate if you have Elf Note. So that's 5, and then we can summon, like, Lucina. Bounce Back is 6. And then... That might be it. That might be all that we can do with what we currently have. I need to practice, obviously, but it wasn't that... I didn't do that horribly. I just think I needed to not summon the Regina in the middle zone. Because I need to use it for the Synchro so it comes back to hand. This is not lethal. Also, is this... Could I have done this in the battle phase? Is there any reason in this deck to use this Lacrima effect? Maybe like at the end of the turn? The end of main phase 2, maybe? Oh, I realized I could have... Could I have lethaled this dog? Because he was special summoned, right? He's level 5 or higher. Oh yeah, I could have lethaled if I attacked over the dog with that guy. I see. Okay, that was not the greatest. But I think we at least get the like basic combo and we can kind of figure it out from there. Alright, before we get started here, I'm going to fill up my water again, and then we'll go duel. Okay, we're back. So, let's see what we can do, shall we? Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Last time we pulled for the Elf Note cards as well as some of the Exo Sister cards, and today we are going to be trying out Elf Note for the first time. We're playing a pretty standard, just Elf Note, Fiendsmith build. We got Armades to go into Fiendsmith plays. We got Moon, just in case everything goes wrong, to still go into Fiendsmith plays. I do feel like the Elf Note extra decks still need to be refined a little bit. I'm not sure on all of these slots, right? Like, I don't know if Moon is actually needed. I don't know if we'd rather play like that level 10 Fable guy, who I don't have, unfortunately. So he could also go into Fiendsmith off of one of the level 6s. But anyways, this is the deck list here. We got Fiendsmith. We got a pretty hefty Fiendsmith package, right? We got all the 2 engravers. We got the Track. We got the Lacrima. And we got the Lurie. We're not doing any of the Necro Quip Princess stuff. And then other than that, we are running 3 Theorealize, which actually also can be used to get you into Fiendsmith with this second effect here, to change something into a Light Fiend, and then make Requiem. And other than that, we just have pretty normal hand traps. I don't know if I want to change the bells out for effect veilers. We'll have to just kind of get some experience and see. I've only played one practice duel with this so far, and it was kind of awkward, so we didn't really do the combo correctly. So we're going to have to kind of learn on the fly here, but I get the basic gist, and we'll go from there. I'll have to see what kind of stuff we could do going second, because I think this deck is obviously going to perform pretty well going first. Well, it seems like we're immediately going to see what going first, or going second is like. We do have Regina immediately, huh? How do you work? Oh, right, I'm toggled on, that's why it keeps asking me. So I need to make sure that if I summon Lucina, it's not in the middle. Do I want to... Pinia hand rip is only till the end of the turn, right? I do think we should just do this. What do you do? Oh, we could do this. Wait, what? Oh, it's face up. Gosh dang it. Alright. Well, we learned something. So, we might as well get this trap out immediately. Might as well not put it in this column in case that's an imperm. Yeah, I kind of... I think we just go for this and get drolled and see what happens. This seems like it was wrong to summon this stuff, huh? If I wasn't going to summon the Power Patron. Learn the hard way. Okay, so he seems like he has Ash. Does he also have Droll? He also has Droll. That's terrible news. Can we just get to like a simple lethal? That's the real question. I don't really think I can. I think I've used Regina in the wrong way, and now we have no good way. I guess I should have just gone for this play first to summon Lucina to search for the Power Patron. Because, like, now do I really want to make Moon? So we know he has Ash, so we can negate Requiem. Let's start with this, see if he ashes. Well, he can't ash this, can he? You think play some more rank 6s? I was thinking, like, I saw someone playing, like, Crazy Beast. I feel like that one would be pretty decent. Yeah, because unfortunately, Caesar can only be made with Fiends. Lucina's big, but it's not quite enough. It's a game like this where I wish I was playing Agnumde. But I guess we couldn't get to it anyways, huh? Because we would just get... I think it's just better to leave all these on the field. We would just get ashed on the Requiem play. True Light. He just has a blue eyes. That sucks for us. No, I would not like to attack, actually. Can this negate anything? Oh, only if we have a Synchro monster. Okay. Well, I can't imperm currently, so that sucks. I think we just lose. We should have played around the droll differently. I just didn't want to, like, start by using the trap and immediately synchro locking us, but... Wait, the trap doesn't even synchro lock. It's the spell that synchro locks. Okay, is there anything we could do here? I think we have to negate this guy. And is this main phase only? No, it's not main phase only. What I'm thinking we gotta do is, at some point, we gotta tribute Regina to get Fortuna out in the middle, and then Lucina can bounce back, and then Fortuna can bounce that back in the end phase. What's Fortuna's stat line? 22. I think we might just lose here. Oh, this has to summon a defense? Sure, why not? Yeah, the problem is this guy tributes himself off for cost. What does this do? Guess I can't really do anything about that. I could Lucina him back to hand. But I don't know what to do. He gets to summon Tyrant now, right? Is this main phase only? This is also not even main phase only. But it does summon in defense position. So that's something. Hey, this is Wait, what? Oh, it's level 6? Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't realize that it couldn't do bigger stuff. Why is it level 6 only? Oh my goodness. We're learning so many things this duel. Okay, we're just gonna leave. This guy's the loser. Alright. Guards gotta be face up. Monsters gotta be less than level 6. Regina needs to be used for a synchro summon. Droll was definitely the problem there, that is true. If he didn't have Droll, I think he loses no matter how many hand traps he has. Well, this is a hand. Okay, don't activate both Uas at the same time. Do we Ash this? I think we got it. The heck is this? Okay, he has an activatable card. Alright, that's ideal, because that means I can just activate the second one. Otherwise, I was probably going to let it resolve before I activate the second one. Yeah, Droll is a pretty big floodgate. Oh, I get to pick blindly? Gee, thanks. What do you do? Don't have another elf node card. I feel like I just keep this guy face down unless he's got something. What was the trap that he searched? From your hand or deck to your field. Okay, so it's probably that. Okay, he's doing this immediately, huh? Does this guy do anything? No, I don't think so. Oh, it's added to my field? I thought it was your field. Wait, it says your field. It doesn't say my field. What are you talking about? Or deck, or in face down to your opponent's field. Oh my god, I didn't read that part. Are these fiends? That's a fiend. 2 light fiends. I mean, he's just trying to floodgate elf notes, huh? Do I send the engraver anyways? I don't think I have another way. I don't have a way to use the tracked engrave, right? I think I gotta go engraver. Yeah, this guy's just floodgating, unfortunately. That was also a really bad hand, but, you know. Yeah, this people seem to just be playing. Well, at least that guy was just playing a deck exclusively designed to put something in their middle center monster zone. So he's just literally trying to counter elf notes, and that's it. His deck does nothing otherwise. Okay, another pretty bad hand. At least we got Fiendsmith, I guess. He might have Droll. It seems like he has Ash for sure, and he also has Droll. Maybe not. So he has something else then? Maybe like Fua? Or Maxi? It's Maxi. Okay, well we have to negate Maxi. I probably should get used to not summoning the Lurie in the middle monster zone, but does it really matter? Is there any way for them to stop me from... Unless it's literally like Cool Tune and they somehow ripped Requiem? Is there any way for them to stop me? We don't really need the Requiem anymore. Could do Chaos Angel, but that doesn't seem right. Gotta be better to just make a Caesar, right? And we can't really do anything with this. We'll keep the Lacrima Crimson Tear. So do I do anything with this sequence? Because we really don't have a play, right? I could like summon Ash and make an IP. But I can't imagine that that's the right play. The other question is, do I set this card? Kind of think that I do. If it gets destroyed, that sucks, but I don't think I have any good options. Pot of Desires. We gotta stop that, right? He's maybe got called by? What else does he have? I'm afraid that this is Sky Striker. Gets to draw 2 anyways. I feel like him taking Caesar, he must just not have a good hand. Otherwise, taking Caesar right there just like wins the game. Okay, it is Sky Striker. I don't have anything to stop him. He had 3 draw 2s in hand. I guess Engage is not a draw 2 yet, but it will be. I can negate that, so that's something. What do I have here? I probably want to keep that for now. But we also has Widow Anchor. This was just unfortunate. I guess that's why he didn't take Caesar. He probably already had Widow Anchor. I do feel like linkage should make you use one card for every link rating the card that you're summoning has. It seems kind of strong that you can just summon a link 2 out of a single card. That's a problem. Kind of thought he would go for the other effect. There's no reason to stay in this. He can just make Kagari get back his Engage, and that was just kind of dumb. Like, we literally didn't start with a single play. Kinda lame. Well, it's definitely going very poorly right now. We've also gone second almost every single duel. Oh, he made us go first, which is a very bad thing, because he's probably using some degenerate strategy. And again, we haven't had an Elf Note play like a single duel yet. What is going on? Because the Elf Note 7 can't search anything. So I still have no way to get into Elf Note cards. Surely it's not right to use Tract there. But here we can actually use... No, I guess we can't use track. We can only have one Lacrima, is the problem. And I can't even summon the Power Patron and make IP. I'd have to summon one of these two to make anything. Yeah, I guess that's all we got, huh? Okay. Does this do any fiend? It has to be a little... Wait. Could shuffle a light fiend. We don't want to do that. I would have shuffled back sequence if I could. What the heck is this? Also, why was Ash not activatable? At least we could stop his Max C next turn. What are you? You're a light fiend. Well, that's one good thing for us, I guess. Okay. Does he have Fua as well? We could track to make Lacrima. Where does it send these cards? Okay, I think they just go to the grave. But now at least I can use Tinia. How quickly can we get to lethal? Actually, he might just have nothing, huh? I think we start with this. Now we can only make synchros if we do this. Do these summon in defense? No, they summon it, or you can summon in attack. I should have just waited until the battle phase, right? I think we got it either way. Okay, we actually won that one. That one was not looking good. But I have no idea what that guy was playing. That was some weird deck. What is this? Like Musketeer Beansmith nonsense? He has a Royal Nibiru. I don't know what this is. I also don't know why I couldn't Ash this effect. I didn't really want to, but I don't understand why it wasn't possible. Maybe I accidentally pressed something? Well, we won our first duel, I guess. We still haven't really gotten to do any Elf Note stuff. I guess that was kind of Elf Note stuff, but not like Synchro Elf Note stuff. Okay, that... Well, we have Regina. It's fine. We have Ash and Regina. Ooh, do you have to go to the graveyard? Yes, you have to go to the graveyard. That is just terrible news. Also, this guy's a Royal Shifter. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait. This is not even activatable under Shifter. Okay, I think we're dead. I can't even activate Regina under Shifter, huh? I mean, that's just like one of those incredibly unlucky duels, right? Shifter's a one of. Unsearchable one of, and he opens it. Not much you could do about that. I needed different hand traps if I was going to be able to win that. Okay, so if we're searching cards, then it's always got to be Lucina first. I guess I also got to remember I was going to try and do something weird where I like summon Regina somewhere else. Regina has to be summoned in the center. We got to remember that. Very important. Okay, so there we were obviously going to be able to make Baron and then just have a Baron to protect us from other stuff, so... That was going to be pretty good. Then we had the Tinia for follow-up. If you have everything like that already, what do you search off the Power Patron? Just another Regina or something, maybe? They got something. Seems like it's probably a Maxi or a Fua. It's a Fua. Do I Ash this? Probably. I think we gotta hope he just doesn't have anything else. He does have something else. He has Droll. Okay, that's fine, I think. The only unfortunate thing is, can you set the trap from hand? Yes, from your hand. Okay, that's fine then. Alright, I also gotta remember that you can use Regina to tribute something off and then activate Fua in that time. Okay, the Power Patron searches when? It has to be from deck, so it will not work under Droll. So we're not going to be able to make use of Tinia this turn then. But we do get Regina back. Oh. He scooped even though I had the trap in my hand, so it was going to look a little bit worse, but he probably didn't think that I had either Tinia... I guess that's kind of weird, right? Because Fortuna is a 1 of, whereas Tinia is a 3 of. Tinia would have been way better for me to have there, right? Because then I also get Fortuna. Where in this case, I was not going to be able to get to Tinia, but either way. Yeah, Baron is just very oppressive. Just the second Baron hits the board, it's like, alright, now what? This is awkward. We actually have both Power Patrons in our hand. At least we get to go first. If we were going second, this would be really bad. Hello, I'm doing alright. How are you doing? Surely I think I just keep another Regina in case somehow he could stop my Regina. And then we're gonna go ahead, go Lucina. And then our first search is gonna be searching Tinia. So if we get drolled now, like, this is fine. No, we don't want to do that. And then you always want to block the Power Patron with Regina, right? Because Regina's just adding itself back to hand, and that can't be ashed or anything. Yeah, we're playing the new Elf Note. Thank you. What do I even want to do here? Like, I don't need anything else, right? We got everything already. Do I want to grab, like, another Lucina? So then, like, now I should probably make all my Engraver plays, right? Because I'm still not synchro locked. And then I could set up, what's his face? Caesar. And then after that, we could do all of the rest of our Elf Note plays. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, you're a Blackwing player. So far, I think it's pretty good. Like, I like synchro strategies, so it's kind of like my style of stuff. I've made a lot of mistakes. This is the first time we played the deck the first few matches. I made a lot of mistakes in the first few, so we're still figuring it out. There's definitely like a lot of little things that you need to be aware of. But I think it's a fun deck. We have run into a lot of people who are trying to just block the main monster zone against you by like putting a kaiju there. Or we had a Mimighoul player just put a face down Mimighoul there for us. So it does seem like the deck is a little bit weak to stuff like that. But maybe as we learn how to play it better, we can figure out how to play around stuff like that happening. Yeah, it was a pretty difficult guess to figure out what deck you play. Alright, so now we got the Wave King. It's fine, no worries. Alright, so then we'll do the Tintia. Although, I've used up like all my slots. We gotta link off into IP, I think. Well, I guess we tribute enough monsters that we actually don't really need to link off. I assume that Crystal is better than Dragster in almost every case. No. We still need to learn how to, like, make Junora plays. I don't know how to do all that yet. I'm just trying to get used to this basic combo first. I kind of like how Cool Tune works, especially with the, like, using your hand and stuff. The thing I don't like about Cool Tune is how restrictive it is, like, that you can only summon tuners. It really kind of makes it that you don't have a whole lot of creativity with what you could put in the extra deck. Other than that, I think the concept of being able to, like, use your hand with a monster on field, and, like, only the little ones can actually use your hand, I think that's kind of cool. And then this can negate one face-up card your opponent controls. I don't think we care about that. I guess the scariest thing is him having tracked. Once it goes to the graveyard, he could potentially use it for a fusion summon. I don't know if he's gonna do something weird. I kind of feel like I should just let him get to sequence and then Caesar it. But maybe I shouldn't, just because if he goes straight for Fiendsmith here, then he could, like, he could force out a different negate for no reason. Yeah, the being able to look at your hand and stuff, I don't know how I feel about all that. I don't know, that's a tough one. Because it's definitely not fair, and they get to change their plays based on what they see. But it like, as the player doing it, you feel good because you get to, like, curate a play that works specifically against what your opponent has. But obviously, as the person who it's happening to, it feels really bad. And this is only leveled monsters, right? Yeah, I assume I can't return a Link monster then. I don't know if I should be, like, using Regina right now to hand rip with Tinia. I probably should have. I think you should probably do that early. Like, even maybe right when he searched tracked, I should have done it there. Okay, he is going for a fusion. I think we're gonna go ahead and go Regina. Sorry, I'm a little bit low on time. I might have to focus on this one. I don't want to chain any of that. Yeah, that's the thing, like, they do have to actually know your deck, though. If they look at your hand and they don't really know everything your deck does, then it's going to be tough for them to actually play around it all correctly. Ooh, did I do this all wrong? Is Regina gonna block my Wave King from activating? Yeah, I think I messed this up. He might not activate, though. He might not realize that I just blocked myself. I don't have to activate the Regina, I guess. Because all I'm losing is the Tinia Rip. Okay, he's not activating. So... I do want to do this. We hit a mask change. You just went straight for this, huh? I don't know why he's going for the Tinia here. That seems questionable, but... Might as well just negate that, but... He's still going for it, so I guess I'm going to send it back. I feel like they still feel like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but maybe that's just because Yu-Gi-Oh in general is pretty crazy. Okay, that time we had a good game. This is like the first legitimately good game we've had of Elf Note. Where we actually just like did the stuff and we did it correctly, and we made a board that was way too difficult for them to break. But yeah, I could definitely see people's frustration playing against it. But I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh definitely does a good job of making like archetypes that feel unique and do something unique. And I think without like the hand ripping and the looking at the, or I guess they don't rip from your hand, but they look at your hand and they rip from the top of your deck and they randomly rip from your extra deck. Without that, like I think the identity of Cool Tune is a really cool idea. The problem is without the looking at the hand and stacking your deck, it's not that strong. It probably wouldn't be a top tier deck without those things. So they probably would have had to have done something else. So I think probably what's going to happen to the deck is they're just going to have to hit a little bit, like maybe Rotary to 1, which is just going to make their ability to like push through boards and stuff a lot worse, and it's going to make it less likely that they have a super good opening hand, and it's going to make them a lot more susceptible to just ashing Q. Something like that I think will just make the deck significantly weaker and just bring it down to everyone else's level. But anyways, we're going to try and play one more here, see if we can actually get to Diamond 2 right now. We might be playing against another Elf Note. Alright, we got lots of hand traps. Do I Ash that? I feel like that's not Ash worthy, right? Well, I feel like Branded is a special case, right? Because Branded is all about... Wait, this dumps for cost? Oh my goodness. Branded is a special case where it's like a lot of... back and forth and not just negate you or something or play around you perfectly. They just kind of keep going. So I feel like most people can have fun against a branded deck. But Cool 2 does feel unfair because it's kind of like they already know what you're going to do. Whereas, like, if you're playing against a branded deck, they have a bunch of, like, surface level interactions, but you don't know what they're going to go for because they can, like, make a variety of different plays. Ooh, I guess I should have done something about that, huh? I do kind of feel like I need to be ashing this, though, right? I don't really want you to have Regina. You didn't have fun any of them? Well, I was playing Cool Tune like all last month. I definitely had some Cool Tune games where I went second against them, and we had like an epic battle, and like when there's two back-to-backs on the field, oh my gosh. I should have max seed. I'm spending too much on this Cool Tune talk. But when you have like that huge back-to-back battle between two different Cool Tune decks, that was pretty fun. I think I do just max seat. Oh, you could do that? That's something I just learned. I didn't even think you could use Snake Eye to get to the Power Patron. That's a good idea. I might just use that for myself. That's actually a really cool idea. Do we stop this? I think we have to. Because if we don't, then it's a Baron on the field. I agree with you to a certain extent that the level manipulation is bad. However, RS, a lot of decks aren't really affected by RS because RS requires you to have less than 1700 attack. And back to back is not that bad because he just drolled his own search. Back to back is not that bad because it's really hard for them to make back to back super quickly. Usually it takes them a lot of their cards to actually make back to back. Can you even do that much? He kind of messed up by drolling there. He should have probably given me the one more draw from Fortuna and gotten his search with the Power Patron. At least he has a negate here, I suppose. Is this a quick effect? It is. So it could quick effect go into... How do you work? Elf Note Synchro. Yeah, see that sucks. He can't go into like a Baron with this. He can only go into Junora. Well, he can't even really go into Junora. He doesn't have enough Elf Notes on the field. I think, right? Because this would be 4, this becomes 3. I don't think it works. He's going Fiendsmith plays now? Light Fiend? Okay, yeah, he's going Fiendsmith. Alright, yeah, I wasn't ready for that play. I suppose that makes sense. So we're gonna have to deal with a Caesar as well. Oh, he's got the Necro Quip. Man, he's so lucky that he had Droll. But I guess he doesn't get to Droll me on my turn now, so that's good. Did he draw into the Droll off of the Wanted Seeker, putting back the Sinful Spoils? Oh, he can make an 8. There is that. That's probably not exactly where you wanted to do that, but that's okay. So he didn't make an 8. Can't really use Lucina, but he will be able to use the trap then. I don't know. If he did make the 8, he would have to like tribute Caesar, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't control a synchro monster. That's not a great pickup to see. I do the 2 times per turn is interesting. I like that the back-to-back is 2 times per turn, but yeah, I mean, it's tough to play around. It's definitely a good deck with everything that it has, but I think it literally needs everything to actually be that good deck. But I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Runs into those problems a lot, where there's just something that feels oppressive. We're really negating Tract? Well, there's no way he could set up Fortuna to be able to spin something back, right? How do I want to do all this? I think I just gotta do this to force out the... This was actually a mistake, huh? Yeah, the fact that they just play a ton of hand traps is pretty crazy. Okay, this gets out 1 Caesar effect already, huh? And it actually shuffles back the guy anyways. And he's probably going to negate this, would be my guess. Alright, so we've gotten through everything now. And now here's my real plays. Wait, he could still do something else? I thought you already activated this effect. Oh, we activated it last turn. And... Wait, why wasn't that a specials? Oh, I already normal summoned. Oh, jeez. That's bad. I messed up. For some reason, I wasn't thinking that the Lacrima was a normal summon. So he could do both of these now. I don't know why I thought he used that this turn and not last turn. That significantly changes everything, huh? Yeah, that's unfortunate. Luckily, he can't spin back Typhon. How do we need to do this? This needs to go. He doesn't have Fiendsmith plays, but he will have Medias. I think we're just dead, huh? That was one thing too many that I couldn't play around. Oh, well, not much I can do. This forces you to target the middle, huh? Dang, I think he got us. It was so close. I needed to be able to kill this so it couldn't search. I guess we got Ash, though. So what can we summon here? We could summon Requiem. Is this main phase only? If we could survive, we might be okay. I don't think we're gonna be able to survive, though. He's got way too much. Yeah, this is just an unfortunate game that he got saved by Droll so hard. Wait, he's making Junora? It looks like he's making Junora. Well, Junora can't activate, but it can attack over me. Oh, I meant to do that during the main phase. It didn't really give me the opportunity because I didn't think he was just going to end his turn without doing anything. Okay, that's probably the best thing he could have hit for us. How should I do this? I think I should just do it like this. Although, are these are all elf notes, huh? There was really no way to play around all those columns. I guess Junora doesn't count. Ooh, would I rather just go Chaos Angel? Suppose I could have targeted that, huh? Ooh, we just had Valor. Do I just need to go battle phase? I think I do. Oh wait, but that card is blocking me. Well, he activated it at that time, so we actually can't do anything. I lied. We almost kind of did something here, huh? But we ran out of time, unfortunately. It wasn't that bad, but I'm out of time, so I can't do anything. Ah, that's unlucky. I think I could have figured out a way to beat him after that. I got everything out. I kind of want to play one more. We'll end on one more. I gotta get faster at these plays. Okay, this hand is pretty bad. We have Lurie and the Patron in our hand. We do have Droll, though. So, like, our hand traps are pretty good. Ooh, he really has the called by. What? We got Belt. We got Belt. Now all we have is Imperm. We're probably just saving the Imperm for our turn. Unless he's doing, like, something weird. Yeah, he's using the Night Sword Serpent. He might be doing something weird. I don't want to reveal to him that I have Imperm. Unless I need to. It looks like they might be trying to go for Ryzeal. But I can always try and stop that with the Imperm. Just for now, I don't want him to know that I have it. Okay, well, I mean, that'll be fine, though. We can just do that on our turn. So what order do we want to do stuff in? I assume we just go for the Lurie play first. Max C, huh? That's unlucky. I think we just gotta go for it. It is Ryzeal. Probably don't want him to draw that. there any reason to make Armades here? I guess, yeah, we gotta... We want to search. As long as he's not running Nibiru, we might be okay. Do we want to finish our play now? Hmm. I think we want this. I keep expecting there to be a Fiendsmith in the graveyard, but he's not there. We have the patron, yeah, okay. I should have waited and gone sequence first, huh? Because then I could just tribute off the sequence for free. This isn't quite enough. If I had done the sequence play, it would have been enough. Dang it, I messed up. This was so winnable. Dang it. That's a shame. So we should let him do this. He'll tribute off that, right? And if this does anything, I can just negate it. Dang, I'm sad. We should have won this, but I messed it up. I realized, like, right as I activated Welcome Home that I probably should have just finished the Fiendsmith play instead. Card's not at 1. Maybe I should have just negated that part. But I can instead do this. What type is Regina? Wind. Ooh, Ash. Do I negate that? Probably not. Yeah, this is just unfortunate. This was very winnable. I had lethal. I just, for some reason, was thinking I'd be able to get into more cards than I could. I mean, obviously, like, we should lose this, but there is a chance that he times out, right? Ooh, he gets to wipe the field now, though. Why did this card live? Can't be destroyed by card effects. Cool. Alright, we learned a new thing. Is this only on your opponent's turn? Yes. Kind of wish Medius didn't banish himself. Like, could this guy really not figure out how to win the game? He does get to detonate everything, unfortunately. Yeah, it was pretty close. We should have won this one, though. I had lethal. I just wasn't thinking it all through. Is this actually lethal? Unfortunately, I have to summon... I don't have sequence, right? I have to summon Little Requiem. Oh, it's exact lethal? Oh. Oh, it can't attack. So this spell and trap are completely useless to us because of detonators, so I guess I just have to try and make a play at the end of his main phase here. Oh, he's got too much stuff. Ooh, that sucks. I forgot about that guy. Ooh. Is that it? Yeah, we got nothing. Dang, this was so winnable. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, it is what it is. We learned a little bit more. That I could have definitely played that one better. I think there's a lot of things that we learned. I just can't recall them all off the top of my head. It was pretty close, though. Yeah, if we had just gone sequence with the Elf Note and the Lacrima, then we could have made this Lacrima into Fiendsmith. We didn't necessarily have to make Caesar out of that. We could have just used them for damage and then just tributed off the sequence to do the what was it, the Rhapsodia play. That would have been way better, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we ended up at the same spot as we started, but I think we learned a lot about this deck, and hopefully we could play it better in the future. So that's kind of our first experience with it. Playing Elf Note Fiendsmith just because it seems like the most straightforward version of the deck, and I think we'll probably keep playing it for a little bit until we learn like exactly how to use all the cards, and then we might get fancy with it. I got some ideas of what else we could do, but that's going to do it for this first one today. We'll be back tomorrow with some more. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Okie dokie. Well, that was an unfortunate end. Easily winnable, but I misplayed, so it is what it is. Either way, I think we're going to end the stream there. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with some more Elf Note. And we'll go from there. If you were watching the stream, then you might have seen that I had like a spicy deck that I might want to build. But first, we got to actually learn how to play these cards correctly. Otherwise, it's just not really going to work out once I start trying to combine too many decks and making it all too confusing for myself. So we're going to end stream there. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow with some more. And hopefully I will see you next